Hi, so thank you for assisting me with this portion of my project. My focus for the project revolves around the question of how does incorporating technology in a math classroom impact student achievement and math fluency. So first, I completed a literature review where I focused on my question. I read a number of articles, and these were the findings that I had. The benefits of incorporating computer-aided instruction into a math classroom is, I think the biggest one is immediate feedback. So the immediate feedback being that students enter their answer and the computer lets them know if they are correct. This is valuable for students and teachers. Obviously, teachers will use that data to lead instruction, but for students, they don't know it's valuable now until they begin to improve on their skills. The engagement piece as well is pretty important for students. I found that depending on the online resource, students are more engaged in their learning, and there are measurable gains. So again, depending on the effectiveness of the resources, students will improve on their math skills, and these are measurable. The challenges are reticent teachers, so teachers that are apprehensive about technology, they're not comfortable with the resources, they don't know what resources to use as far as online websites, technology infrastructure. So there has to be robust internet infrastructure to handle the bandwidth required, the Wi-Fi. If the bandwidth is not there, then it'll slow down activity and students will be delayed in their production. And another challenge is effective resources. So we have to know what resources to use. We can't just provide Google for the students. I also found that the best practices in incorporating technology are always innovative teachers, so teachers that always are looking to improve on the practice. They know that something else is better or is in development, and they're willing to try it. Collaboration, and that is among professional learning communities in the school or inter-school collaboration, so between middle schools or even high schools. And always professional development. So the final, I think this is pretty important for teachers that are apprehensive about technology. They need professional development with how to use the resources available. They need to know what's effective, what's not, because a lot of times they're not willing to investigate themselves. So as far as my goal, as a 7th grade math teacher, I decided to focus on grade level goals that my team determined. That is adding and subtracting integers, which is vital for their math education going forward, multiplying integers and dividing integers. But for this project, I focused on the most challenging concept, which is adding and subtracting integers, and overall, the impact on their individual achievement. So at the start of the year, I believe week 2, I conducted a pre-assessment where I just gave students a 10-question quiz on a website that I use pretty commonly. It's thegreatmartinicompany.com, and I use that because it provides students with immediate feedback. So at the start of the school year, this is the median score, and this is broken down by periods. So students basically obtained 2 correct out of 10. This is the pre-assessment. And then we learned the concept, we practiced quite a bit, and then prior to winter break, I gave them a midpoint, and at that point, they, as you can see, they jumped over from the average of 2 correct up to about 5 correct. So their skills got better, and again, we just continued practicing. This is a skill I think that overall 7th graders struggle with because there are more rules involved. And then when we got back from spring break, students took the post-assessment, and now their median score is about 7 correct. So there are measurable gains that were obtained through, I think I attribute most success to Quizlet.com. Quizlet has 4 components that we used quite a bit, which is learn, gravity, match, and the overall quiz. So I purchased a subscription to Quizlet Teacher, and with that it opened up more tools within these. So because of Quizlet and the Great Martini Company, my students, my 7th grade students, jumped immeasurably in their performance. I also completed qualitative data and in the form of interviews. So I interviewed 3 students, and these students had varying achievement. One of them is a top performer, the other one middle, and the last they struggle with math, and in particular adding and subtracting integers. So students, what I found overall is that they appreciate the immediate feedback. They like to know whether they're right or wrong, rather than waiting for a teacher to correct their worksheet, which takes a lot of time. They realized math growth, so they actually were able to complete 1-2-step equations that featured adding, subtracting integers, so they were conscious of that. And they also liked fast platform. So what I mean by that is, at the start of the school year, we started using Edmodo.com, and Edmodo.com was much too slow. So we shifted from Edmodo.com because there were so many features that Edmodo has that is too slow. So we shifted over to Google Classroom, which is so much faster. I also interviewed a colleague in another school that is not a major fan of technology in their classroom, and I found that they just don't have the time to investigate resources. They would value professional development if it was offered, and they are also conscious of their ability to modify instruction through the technology, but again, they just kept on going back to not enough time to investigate the resources. So, in order for computer-aided instruction to work well, there needs to be a robust infrastructure that features strong internet. Gotta have a reliable internet connection. There needs to be professional development and collaboration. Teachers need to be open to working with their colleagues that have technology in the classroom and always innovate. So my findings from my research and my practice led me to conclude that when those 3 components are hit, then students will enhance their achievement and overall math fluency. So that would be my presentation. Thank you.